Alright. How's everybody doing? Can you hear me? Let me know in chat as always. Let me turn this music down because it's super loud in my ears. And how's everybody doing? Happy Friday the 13th. Hopefully you're not suspicious about that. But if you are, there's really nothing I can do about it because that's what today is. So, how's everybody doing? You all good? You gotta let me know in chat if you can hear me. Can you hear me? We good? Alright, let's see. Let's turn this camera a little bit. There we go. That's better. Now I can, you can see me, I can see you, and we will talk about what's gonna happen today. Alright. Hey, Ryan's in the chat. Nice to see you, Ryan. Pause. Nice to see you here as always. This is like your 10th week in a row. And yeah, we've got an overlay now, sorta, kinda. I've got to tweak it some more, but we're getting started, and yeah, trying to get out of the way of the code output. That's been a problem in a couple of past weeks. We've had some weird things with code, so code output. So hopefully we're good now. I'm back to 2 monitors, so I can look at chat and I can write code at the same time. So we're good. All right, so let's talk about what we're going to do this week. So we are starting a multi-week project. This project is going to go on for at least a month, maybe longer, just because it's going to take a while to build this. But what we're going to do is we're going to build a Django website. That's probably going to be this week. At least super basic bare bones of it, right? We're going to build a Django website. And then we're going to put an API onto that using Django REST framework. And then we are going to build a front end to the website, like a single page app kind of front end. So probably use React for that, assuming I can figure out that much of React. We'll see. I've done one Treehouse course on React. I plan on doing some more and reading some blog posts, but y'all know how the live stream goes. The live stream is often seat of the pants, which is part of what I love about it. So anyway, we're gonna build Django website, API, React front end, and then my plan, and this is where it really gets fingers crossed, is I'm going to build an Android app or a Windows app or something that uses that API to also do the same work as the website. All right, so that's the plan for the next month and a half, however long it takes us to do this. But here's the really cool thing, and this is where you all come in. If you look at this repo, which is GitHub/Treehouse/livestream Django feelings, if you look at this repo, you can watch it, you can star it, you can fork it, you can do whatever you want there, but it's licensed as open source. It's MIT licensed, so I would love for all of you, as you watch this, to come in and give me pull requests, give me issues, things that you find wrong, contribute your own code through pull requests, and just help out. So that's our plan. I'm going to build this on the live stream, but you all are more than welcome to contribute to it as well. All right, chat is flying, and let's see what's going on here in chat. Let me run through here. Amar is back. How you doing, Amar? Nice to see you. Grant, glad you're loving the live thing. I'm enjoying doing these. Last name is Zabriskie. Are you related to Chris Zabriskie by any chance? And if so, you probably recognize the music that's playing. He's a Treehouse employee. His music is available for streaming on YouTube, and that's amazing. And Damarajan asks, how long is the session planned for? We do 2 hours every week. So every week we do 2 hours from 10 a.m. to noon Pacific time. And Nilesh asks, can you do live projects on other languages? Well, that's part of the point of this one, is We're going to mainly be doing this in Python, in Django, but we are going to build part of this in JavaScript. We're going to build part of this in Android. I'm not saying I'm going to write Java, but we'll see. Some sort of Android-y thing. So that's my plan, right? Okay, so to get started on this, I need to get some things going. So let's grab a terminal real quick. And let's go back here and let's check out this repo. So I'm going to clone that repo. And I'm going to get started. Grant, you're his brother. Awesome. Well, tell Chris thank you for the music, even though I'm pretty sure I've told him thank you as well. All right. And Shreyas asks what applications I'm using. So for browser, I'm just using Safari because it's fairly lightweight. For my terminal, I use iTerm, but that doesn't matter. And then for writing code, we'll be using PyCharm. We'll be using PyCharm for all of the code that we're gonna use. Okay, so let's create a new project, and this is gonna be a Django project. And let's see, it's gonna be Django. We'll give it an application name in a minute. Change the location here to be code. Live stream Django feelings. That was what I call it right there. Open. It needs a new virtual environment, which we'll call feelings. Sure, that's a good name. I'm actually tempted to use this with 3.6. Yeah, let's do it with 3.6. Why not? No, wait. I'm just gonna stick with 3.5.2. I'm not gonna change anything if I don't have to. Yeah. Okay. So, let's do that. And let's say feelings there, just to make this thing happy, and then go ahead and create that. All right. So this is going to install Django and get stuff like that going. All right, let's see what else we've got more. Man, we got so much chat today. This is great. Jaden asks, is Treehouse good for kids? I would say it depends on how old the kid is and how, I don't want to say competent because that's not anywhere near the right word. How savvy the kid is. Like, if the kid already has some exposure to computers and programming maybe a little bit, then Treehouse will be absolutely fine for the kids. If the kid has never done anything on computers before, there's a lot of Treehouse that will be over their head. But that said, we do have some really good digital literacy stuff for getting people familiar with computers and going. And they can, of course, learn, whatever stuff they want to learn, right? And I can paste the URL in here, but YouTube has some really annoying habits when it comes to URLs. So that's about the best I can do for giving you a URL. Okay, so let's add this root. All right, are we good on version control? Unversioned files should be, yep, all of that stuff. And then we need to mark some things as being ignored. Ignore all files under, you know what, let's just edit our own. Let's edit the get ignore. So file, open, code, live stream Django feelings. I'll open up the README. That's not what I want to open though. terminal. Let's see if this will work. Okay. All right. I don't recommend doing this. IDE. So, .idea. And that should probably be enough. All right. So now let's check version control. Let's refresh that. There we go. Sweet. Okay. So I want to add all of those to version control, and I'll do a commit, which is, yep, first Django commit. All right, so before we actually start writing code, though, it's probably a good time to do some planning, right? So I'm a big fan of planning things out before I write code, so I hope you all are too, because that's what we're going to do. So GitHub actually has a really nice feature called projects. And it's kind of like Trello, if you've used Trello, where you have these like cards and boards that you can put stuff into. So we're going to do one here, which is just basic Django site. All right. And so let's talk about the to-do. Nice to have. And done. All right. Super basic idea. If you've not done Kanban before, I'm not going to do really hardcore Kanban because I don't know how to do really hardcore Kanban. But my idea is just to add these different things into here that will let us do basic stuff, right? So model to track mood. User can sign, let's just say user auth. Let's say create family. User can create family. And while we're doing this, let's talk a little bit about a little bit about what the idea behind this app is, right? Oh, are we falling behind? Oh, we're dropping some frames. All right. Well, hopefully we won't drop any more frames. My CPU is idling back down. I think it was spiked up because of PyCharm. But let me know if it keeps getting really, really weird. But we'll find out here. All right. So the idea behind this project is to have a pretty simple app where you sign up on it, and at any point during the day, you can just go on and you can log how you're feeling, right? So you're feeling good, you're feeling bad, you're angry, you're sad, you're really happy, you're tired, you're whatever. I don't know that we'll have all those options, but we'll have at least some of them. And then the idea is that then you can look at an aggregate, right? You can look back over the week and go, hey, you know what? This was a pretty good week. I was fairly happy. Or, oh wow, I was really up and down this week. You know, I wasn't sure how I was going to be. Part of this is because a friend of mine is doing a project this year called 100 Days of Self-Care. And the idea is that for the first 100 days of the year, you spend at least a little bit of time each day taking care of yourself. Doing something that makes yourself feel better or that prepares you for the future, for like next week or whatever. Just little ways to make yourself better. And I think that's really important. And I think one of the best ways that you can do that is by knowing where you're at, where you're coming from. Because you can't fix something that you don't know is wrong, right? That you have a problem. So the idea behind this is just give you a way to track it. So the idea behind the family and the company is like, you could have one of these for your spouse and your children, and then you could see kind of how the household is feeling for the week. Or you could do it for a company. You could see how your company or your team or whatever is feeling for the week. And it's all going to be opt-in because not everybody wants to share how they're feeling. And ideally, we only show high level stuff, right? So generate user aggregate for week. Generate company family aggregate for week. That's probably enough for right now. Yeah, that's probably good enough for now. And then nice to haves, charts, avatars. What else would be nice to have? Notes. All right. So this is for our basic Django site. This is just going to be the site that everybody uses online, right? Key role, you said that this looks like Trello. This is, it's very similar to Trello. This is the projects tab inside GitHub. So if you're on a GitHub repo, there's a projects tab, and inside there you can specify new projects, and you can specify columns and cards for those projects. And then just like Trello, you're like, oh yeah, this would be cool. I can do this here, there, wherever. Okay. So I'm gonna let the stream catch up for a minute. Any questions about this? Anything anything here that people feel like they're lost on? How's everybody doing today? And while that's going, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure the project knows that this is a Django project. All right, and then I can run a management command, and I can run migrate, and I can run server. And that'll give me that. Okay, so everybody feeling okay? Everybody good so far? The GitHub link is in the chat. It's just a little bit above. All right. How's everybody doing? We good? Feels like my internet is a little weird today. I don't know. I'm sending out a smaller stream than I was before, so that would be weird. But anyway, all right, so let's start on, I'm going to go ahead and grab Bootstrap. And I'm going to go ahead and do a few settings here too. So templates, I want to add in here os.path.join, baster, and templates. And then for static files dirs, I want to do os.path.join, baster, assets. And then I want to make 2 new directories here, one of which is going to be called templates, and one of which is going to be called assets. And then inside assets, I want to make CSS. I want to make JavaScript. And I probably need one for images too. All right. Fakayo asks, am I the Python instructor on Team Treehouse, and does Treehouse offer Django? I am the Python instructor at Treehouse, and Treehouse does definitely offer Django. We have several Django courses at this point, and we're just going to get more and more as we go. All right, and then inside templates, let's make a new file. We'll call this layout.html. If you have followed along with my Django coding for any period of time, you know that this is like my default. I'm actually gonna come over here. Where's the exam? Basic template. There we go. That's what I want. There we go. All right, so that gets the meta tags in for us. But I want the CSS from the CDN. So I actually want that one. And then I want the CSS, or the JavaScript rather, and not the expected to have been downloaded JavaScript. Cool. And then let's go ahead and grab this theme too, just because that way things will look a little nicer. All right, cool. So that's our basic layout. We'll call this feelings, but let's do a block title right there. And then end the block. And let's do a block content right there. All right, cool. Okay, so we've got a super basic layout template. Let's go ahead and create a index template for the home page. And we'll say that this extends layout.html. And for block content, let's just do an H1 that says welcome to feelings. All right, cool. And then inside of our URLs, let's go ahead and bring in from django.views.generic import template view URL start end template view.asView template name equals index.html name equals home. All right, and so now if we go back over here, cool, we have our welcome to feelings thing. All right, so anybody have any questions up to this point? Give me a message in chat if you can still see and hear this, actually, because chat is like really quiet right now. And I know that this is like the most thrilling thing you've ever seen. But let's see what's up here. All right, cool. Ryan, I'll see you in the office next week, actually, because I got to come in and film a thing, because that's what we do at Treehouse. We film things. Okay, so we have a super basic website going here, like super duper basic, and we have a we've just kind of got a few things going here, right? Nothing really fancy. So let's start. Let's go. Let's steal this one here. This seems like a good one. This seems like a good one to steal. Develop. Page source. There we go. All right, and let's see. Here's the stuff that we need to copy. So let's grab that nav bar. And we'll do this in layout. Actually, it's not quite how I wanted stuff laid out, but good enough, I guess. Okay. Paste that in. And we'll fix and tweak a lot of this as we go on. Jumbotron, we might have the Jumbotron just on the home page. All right, I could see having the Jumbotron on here. But not having it anywhere else, not having it over here. But then we want the rest of, actually the rest of this would probably be, yeah. The rest of that would probably be on the home page as well. Because the home page is going to be the page that has all of like the marketing stuff, right? And our later pages are going to have the other stuff. Let's see, let's do div class equals container. And then we'll paste in this bit, and we'll get rid of that. And then over here, let's have a div there that closes the container. And let's refresh this. That looks pretty good. Does that look right to all of you? Yeah, I think so. All right. NA Clasher asks, what are we actually creating? So this is the very beginning of a long-term project. We're going to spend several weeks on this project. So this is just the first like Django app of it, right? So we're just building a pretty simple Django app where people can go on and they can log how they're feeling at any given time. That's the whole idea. So pretty straightforward, I think. Okay, so cool. We've got a pretty basic Jumbotron thing. Hey, Marine, nice to see you back. I don't think there's anything else here that I need to steal, but I'm going to keep that tab there just in case. All right, so let's make this a little bigger. And let's figure out a couple other things here that we want to change. So probably one of the first things here we want to change is this, and we'd want to put in a URL for home. So if somebody clicks that, they get to go to the home page, right? MR, Ezzy, how are you doing? What's going on is we're starting to build a Django website that's going to become an API and a single page app and an Android app and who knows what else later on. Okay, so that's cool. Let's start, let's version control. Unversioned files. We do not want to include that one. All right, so let's do this, and we'll just say base. There we go. Basic templates. And we'll commit that. And actually, let's go ahead and do a push. Hopefully I don't have to log in again for that. Cool. All right. So those of you playing along at home, you should now see that as a thing to have. And I want to ignore a specific file. I want to ignore db.sqlite3. Okay. So now let's go ahead and let's start creating our models and our app. So, or our apps. So I think for the first app, I want this to be the app where you actually log the stuff. So we'll do start app, and this would be your feeling. Let's call it log. Oh, that's not a great name. All right, I'm gonna give you all a couple minutes to see if you can come up with a better name for it. So this is gonna be the app where you actually record how you're feeling, right? Recording your check-in. So we need a better name for it than log, although log will work. Mascud, I am the teacher of Django. Yes. I teach Django at Treehouse, and also at like PyCon and stuff like that. So, conventions and stuff. Django is an app. Django is not an app, Hassani. Django is a framework inside Python. And in Django, there's the idea of a project, and then projects have apps, and the apps inside of there do like one particular thing. That's the idea, at least, is that each app kind of does one thing. They're not large, all-encompassing. And Mascud asks, what's special with Django? Nothing. It's a nice framework. It's one that I really enjoy working with. It's one that I've worked with for many, many years. It's very full-featured. It does a little bit of everything. Yeah, you just kind of... I find it handy to use. Zhao specifies, or asks... wow, words. Hi, words. Zhao suggests history. Matt has suggested thoughts. Those are both pretty good, yeah. And typically we want app names to be plural. So maybe thoughts. Thoughts is a good one. Thoughts and feelings. Hey, I kind of like that. We've got thoughts and feelings in there. I'm gonna give another minute or two, and then and we'll try that. But let's we'll talk a bit more of this. NA asks, how much are you paid though? How much am I paid for what? How much am I paid at Treehouse? I don't know if that's a good thing to talk about on the live stream. It's enough. I think it's good. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go with thoughts. I think thoughts is a pretty good one. We also got a suggestion for My Way. And we got word. Oh no, you're just making fun of me not being able to say words. Yeah, that's been a problem lately. But whatever. All right, so I'm gonna call this thoughts. It really doesn't matter. We can rename it later if we want to. So we have thoughts, and now we need to add it to our installed apps. So thoughts is now a thing, and where is it? Hello? There it is. All right. That took a while. All right, so now let's check out the models. So now we need to add our models for what a thought is going to look like. Zhao says, what IDE am I using? This IDE is called PyCharm. PyCharm is an IDE by JetBrains. That's the name of the company, JetBrains. And it's a good solid IDE. So, okay, let's make a thought, which would be models.model. And so one thing we want to do on this definitely is we want to get the user. So from django.contrib.auth.models, import user. And because I'm very particular, since C in contrib comes before the D in DB, that's got to come first. So, yeah. Down there. Okay, user equals models.foreign key user related name equals thoughts. So the related name is what user is going to call a thought, right? They're going to call the collection of thoughts, the collection of thought instances, their thoughts, right? If you're wondering what the average Python developer makes, that kind of varies. It kind of depends on what part of Python you are working in, whether you're working in data science or web development or 3D video work or video games or whatever. So that's going to depend on the industry that you're in. But for instance, web developer, like Python web developers, people who work for web companies making web apps in, say, people working at places like Instagram, Discuss, oh god, I don't know, so many other places. You're typically going to do, say, 80 to 120,000 US in the US. So that's about what you'll be doing. Marine, the Windows Dev Machine, will be on the streams once I get a new desk and second monitor for that computer. Because right now it only has one monitor. One monitor is hard to do live streams on. So, yeah. All right, so let's make... let's call this moods. Nah, let's call this conditions. There we go, conditions. And so this is going to be our choice of conditions. Is there a vacancy for front-end developers? Nilesh, if you mean at Treehouse, I don't believe we're currently hiring. I think we are currently full up. But front-end developers are always in demand. And I'm lagging. Yeah, I don't doubt that. It's a YouTube live stream. YouTube's not the fastest streaming platform. So, yeah. Okay, so conditions. Let's just do a scale of... The problem is it's hard to put feelings into a scale, right? But let's try... Let's see. Is there a emotional scale? Let's see if this is a thing. We gonna... There we go. Come on, internet. All right. Someone has one there. List of emotions. There we go. Oh wow, they've got a ton of those things. All right. I don't think we want to go quite that specific. That's pretty good right there, actually. That's not bad at all. Yeah, okay. So let's try this stuff. So let's try adding these in. And I don't know that we're going to add in all of these, but let's try adding in at least some of them. Can I get that to move over? I can. Sweet. All right, so let's do... so what we're going to do is we're going to store... when we do conditions like this, when we do choices like this, we have two values inside of our tuple. Or tuple. Inside of our tuple, the first value is what gets stored in the database, and the second value is what gets displayed to the user. So I'll do like 1, and then we'll say joy. And in this case, 1 would go into the database, and joy would be displayed to the user, right? So yeah, it's again, we can always change some of these things later, right? To passionate, 3E, happy, 4 positive, 5 optimistic, which I'm really not sure how optimistic and positive are different from each other, but apparently they are in the scale. Hopeful? Yeah, like, come on. Positive, optimistic, and hopeful are the same thing, right? So let's just, let's just ditch those, and let's make this one a 4. All right, and so then, let's see, content. You know, you're feeling all right. Bored. Pessimistic. That's a good one. That's a good opposite of optimistic for us. Frustrated. 9, overwhelmed. I like that one. 10, disappointed. That's a good one. 11, worried. I'm going to skip doubt because I feel like that's kind of the same as like pessimistic. Angry. Revenge, hatred, rage, jealousy. Wow. I feel like hatred, rage is kind of tied up in angry, and I don't think revenge is necessarily a thing I want to put in here. Let's put in jealous. Insecure. I think that's a good one. Yeah. And then I actually want to take another one from there. I want to take in guilty. And then 16, let's just say fear. And let's do 17, grief, not fried. Wow, deep fried grief. And then 18, let's do despair. So I think those are a pretty good list of conditions. Those are really... I think this does a pretty good job of filling in kind of the realm of people's emotions, right? There might be one or two here that we're missing. If there's something you feel like I'm missing, let me know. Post it in chat. But I think this does a pretty good job. So what we're going to do now is down here inside user, we're going to have them say condition. Actually, let's go ahead and fill in the default stuff first. So... let's say recorded at models.date time field default equals timezone.now. And up here I want to say from Django.utils import timezone. All right. And then this should be editable equals false. We don't want the user changing that, right? And then so we'll do condition equals models dot integer field. Integer field. We don't need a max length or anything like that. We just need choices, and that's going to be conditions. Okay. And you know, we had this thing here where we said notes was a nice to have. Let's go ahead and put in notes. So notes will be models.text field. Default is that. And blank is equal to true. Actually, we don't even need blank is equal to true. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we don't need null is equal to true. Okay. Cool. Okay, so we have a user that we're related to right here. And that's going to be with a reverse foreign key of thoughts. We have when this thought was recorded, right? So when this, whenever I logged that I was disappointed or I was happy or whatever. You know what? I wanna spread these out a little bit. I want to put this one at like 5, 10. Oops. 15. Whoa, that is not what I wanted. Okay, there we go. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, and 85. And the reason is because as we work through this app, as we have people actually using this app, we're probably going to find that we need something in between joy and passionate, right? Or between passionate and happy, or whatever. Let's actually change this. Let's make this one ecstatic. And we'll make it 0. Yeah, it's a little weird to me that we go from like super happy to... Anyway, whatever. Okay. So then, let's define what this should look like as a string. And we want to return the user. No, we don't want to return the user. We want to return the date and the condition. So we will do self.recorded at and self.condition. Okay. Paul is currently hungry. All right, well, you know what? That's actually one that should be in here. Let's put it in here. Let's say 27 is hungry. And that can be hungry as in, like, I want more. Or that can be hungry as just, I'm hungry. And you know what? I want to do another one here, too, actually. 26, we'll do tired. Because those are ways that you feel, right? And I think those are a little bit worse than feeling bored. So, okay, cool. So anyway, we have our thought model. And I think this was pretty good. So let's go ahead and make the migration for it. So make migrations for thoughts. And then migrate thoughts. All right. And then let's go ahead and add it into the admin real quick. And we will do from dot import models, admin.site.register, models.thought. All right. And I need to create super user. Yep, Kenneth Love is fine. Team Treehouse. All right, and then run the server. All right, cool. So now let's go to admin, and we'll go ahead and log in. Nope, don't save that. All right, and so now we can add thoughts. So that's pretty cool. Being followed. Yeah, that might be a thing to put in there, Matt. A general feeling of paranoia. Yeah, actually, I like that one. Let's put where would we put paranoia? Let's put it actually down here at the bottom. You're feeling paranoid. Yeah, I think that actually fits. And is the dunder str dunder an equivalent to Java's toString? Yeah. So it's been forever since I've done this. If I remember correctly, in Java, inside your class, you can have a toString method, and that controls what happens when you turn that class into a string. Assuming I'm right in that, then yes, the dunder str method right here is what happens when this class thought gets turned into a string. Okay, so we've got the server running, and so I'm going to go and add a thought. So this is for me. This is for Kenneth Love. And currently, I'll say I'm feeling optimistic, right? I'm in the middle of a live stream. I'm feeling okay. All right, so we can see that. Get condition display. There we go. That feels better. And then this is actually import date time. No, wait. I don't need to import date time. Self.recorded at .strf time. And year, month, day, Hours, minutes. These need percent signs in front of them because it's because. I think that's just capital H and capital M. We'll find out in a second. There we go. Other than it's not 6:49 in the evening. Let's also do %s. So we can get seconds. Because somebody could be logging these things very quickly, and they could be logging, all of their seconds. And I know why this is wrong, and it's because over here, I did not set the time zone. And my time zone is America/Los Angeles. And now if I refresh, if I restart the server and refresh, no? Save that. Okay, let's delete this one. And let's save a new one. Because I want to make sure that the time zone works. Add thought for that. And optimistic. And save. And that's still way wrong. But whatever. That's fine. I don't care. Okay, so if we look back over here at our basic Django site, I would say that we have a model to track mood, and we have notes. So we've got two things done. Okay, so let's go ahead and check stuff into version control. And what do we have under unversioned files? Those are all fine things to add in. And let's just say basic thoughts app with admin. And let's commit and push. Yeah, just do that. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, so the next thing that we need to do is we need to have like user auth. So we need to let users log in and all that kind of stuff. So do we want people to have? Yeah, we probably want people to have their own sign up and stuff. We don't want them to have to use Twitter or Facebook or whatever for the sign up, because while those are cool and those are awesome, those not everybody feels like not everybody feels like those are going to be safe when they're sharing something important, right? So we'll go ahead and we'll make it to where you sign up with an email address and a password. So that means we need to handle auth. So how's everybody feeling? Everybody feeling good on which is a very topical question for me to ask based on what we're building. Everybody feeling all right this Friday? This Friday the 13th, this day that everybody gets to, freak out or whatever. Okay, so here inside feelings, if I can get that to open, I'm gonna make a new file that I'm gonna call views.py. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna do that there. Delete. Okay. I'm going to make a new app that I'm going to call users. Stop. There we go. So start app users, and this user's app is going to hold is going to hold the login views and the logout views and whatever profile models we need, the company things, all that kind of stuff. Flemao. I'm just going to call you Raw. Raw over there in the Beam chat has asked if they're able to learn from Treehouse using Windows, or are they out of luck because they can't afford a Mac? You can learn from Treehouse no matter what operating system you're using. All of our presentation is done in Mac, but that's simply because that's what we have at the studios, and it gives us a little bit better of a way to get everything kind of looking exactly the same, right? So that's why we use Mac on stuff. I have a Mac here because this is the only one I have 2 monitors on right now. And I like Mac. I have no problem with Mac. But I am going to start doing live streams in Windows, so you'll get to see Windows stuff soon. However that makes you feel. Okay, we're going to make... there's going to be so many jokes about feelings today, it seems like. Okay, so I'm going to put users in here before thoughts, because the users are probably going to end up having a bit more stuff that the thoughts tie back to other than the other way around. So, yeah, and Pause says that they're using FreeBSD. Treehouse works great for them. You said that you had some problems with Beam, I think, but that's not, like, that's outside of Treehouse. And Marine is using Windows for everything. So yeah, don't let anybody tell you that it's impossible to use Windows, because it's definitely not. All of these things are 100% applicable. Where are the views? There are the views. Authentication views. Okay, so Django has some authentication views that it already provides. So we're going to go ahead and use those because I'm lazy and I don't want to recreate all these things for myself. So, but I'm going to have this views here in case I need to override how something works. So let's come over here to URLs. And let's say from users, import URLs as user URLs. And yes, right now there is no user URLs. But I'm going to make a file that's called urls.py, and now there is. Isn't it funny how that works? And we're going to say URL patterns equals that. All right, cool. So from django.conf import URLs. No, django.conf.urls import URL. That's what I want. And I also probably want include. Okay, and then we're going to do URL, and we don't really care what it starts with. And we're going to include django.contrib.auth.urls. We don't need a namespace on that for now. Yeah, that'll be fine. All right, and then over here, we're going to do URL users, and then we're going to say include we can do that, right? Let's find out. Let's find out. It's the best thing. Just try it. See if it works. All right, so that wasn't happy. View must be a callable or list tuple in the case of include. Okay, so can we do include user URLs? And we will need to import include right here. And let's hit that. Hit that. Okay, no errors. And if I try to go to foo, which doesn't exist, then I have /users. Try to go to /users. That doesn't exist because it doesn't know what to do there. But if I go to /users/login, then I get that this template doesn't exist, which the template doesn't exist. So that's very true. Mascoud, am I using Bootstrap? Yes, we are using Bootstrap. Hey, Raw, thank you for the host. And yeah, you do get a lot of sites. So Ross says that they knew it wasn't impossible, but they see a lot of sites where somebody says, use Mac or we hate you, and that gets kind of annoying. And you know what? Yeah, it's annoying, and it's also ridiculous because there's absolutely nothing about a Mac that makes it better for development than Windows or Linux, with the one exception of Mac is a little bit closer to being this like open source ideal as far as like the Unix underpinnings, right? But Windows is fine. Like Windows does just fine. And Linux or Unix do just fine too. Like FreeBSD is great. Like they're all fine. They're all good. So just use the thing that makes you happy. Okay, so we've got our URLs. We're including all of this stuff. I'm gonna set up a namespace on this actually. Namespace equals users, simply because I want to have that kind of stuff available, right? So users log in. So let's make this template exist. So templates, new directory, and this directory would be registration. And then inside of registration, a new file, login.html. And we're going to say extends layout.html because it does. And for the title, we're going to say login and then block.super. I don't know why it keeps putting in two of those for me. And for block content, form here. All right, refresh this page. Cool, we got something. We don't have the form because you can't see it, but it's there, I promise you. If I do div class equals container, form here. What am I missing? Is it the row? That shouldn't be it. There's our sign in. There's form here. Why is... Bottom has 20 pixels. Okay. All right, so let's go up here to Assets, CSS, add a new file, which we will call feelings.css. And inside here, let's do dot container first, margin top 100px. And inside layout, from static files, import static. No, that's not the way that works. It is load static from static files. And then we do a link. Rel is style sheet. href is static. CSS slash feelings.css. And let's make sure that it pulled down that document. did. Okay, cool. And then if we come over here and we look at this, that style rule didn't do anything. Is it first child? Mascoud asks, do I know any good PHP frameworks? I really don't. I haven't done PHP in a long time. I've heard good things about Symfony. I've heard good things about Laravel, but I really don't know at all. So I can't say for certain. That is not what we want. Let's do... You know what we're going to do? We're going to do this. I'm going to cheat because I am tired of fighting with stuff. Div ID equals content. And then we're going to come over here. Content. Boom! Check that out. Never let anyone tell you that it can't be done. Okay, so let's make sure that didn't screw up my homepage too much. It did a little bit. Somebody suggested that this should be 60. Let's see. What about 50? Yeah, we'll say 50. Okay, cool. And that was Ryan and Igor both suggested some CSS there. So, and then yeah, Marine. Sometimes you have to use bang important. I try not to use bang important. It has a lot of problems, but you know, whatever. It's fine for now. Okay, so okay, what do we say? It was users login, right? That's our login thing. Okay. So that's it. And then let's say content dot container first of type. You know what? I'm just not going to worry about it. Okay. So on this login page, we have a form here. So we can do form as P. And there's our form, right? So we've got a form. I have a feeling I'm going to bring in tachyons here in a little bit. But for now, this will work. There we go. And let's make this 20. Just to make it a little bit nicer. I'm not sure why that file disappeared. There we go. Okay. Cool. So you can see that we have a form, right? And yet, Ryan, you know what? The project is open source. And you are all more than welcome to provide me with better CSS. It's been a very long time since I've had to do any sort of even remotely serious CSS, so I am amazingly rusty at this. But let's not worry about that for right now. For right now, let's get this login thing working. So, we're going to do a column here. And it's been a little while since I played with columns, so I'm going to just kind of look at these. So MD4 means at medium width, we've got 4 of these. Or they take up 4 columns, so we'd have 3 of them. So let's do call MD 6. So we'll do 2 of these. And then form action is here. Method is post. and then we do the form.asp, and then we do our CSRF token. We could, of course, do the CSRF token first if we wanted to. And then we'll do an input type equals submit, value equals login, and class equals button, and button primary is, I do believe, the thing. And yeah, so that doesn't look terrible, right? And so then what we would do is we would have here class equals call md6. Log in to record to record how you're feeling. Right? Because this would be the idea, right? We've got a form, and then we've got, like, some content over here, right? And maybe this becomes a 3 instead of a 2. Yeah, that looks a little better. And maybe up here, there's an H3 that just says login. There we go. Something like that, right? So it doesn't have to be anything fancy, but there we go. There's our login. So now I should be able to log in here. Cool. And then it's trying to take me to this profile page. This is set as there is a thing here. There's a setting, which is I don't know where it is. Anyway, there's a setting that controls where you get redirected to once you log in. We will change that here in a little bit because we don't want to make this profile. We don't like what it's trying to do right now is send me to a profile page. I don't want to make a profile page. Hasani asks, is it good for coding social networking websites? Yeah. I think it works fine. For social networking sites. Instagram is built in Django, which is a social networking site. So yeah, I would say that it works really well for that. And let's add one more setting down here. We'll add a new section here called that, and we want login URL, and the login URL can take a named URL pattern, so we're going to use that, and our URL pattern is users : login. That's what I thought it was. And so the thing is now, if we had a page that was marked as requiring login and we weren't logged in, we'd be redirected to that page. So cool. So we've got the login thing there. Let's do a quick version control check. Let's add some stuff. What do we have there? What's under unversioned files? Oh man, all sorts of stuff. All right, I'm just gonna add all of this. And we'll say starting users. Thanks for the random characters there, Belly Tiger. Maybe next time you can contribute to the chat. Okay, so yeah, not gonna subscribe to your channel, no. Gonna report you. Cool, thanks. Hey, Ken Alger, if you're watching, can you clean up that chat? I don't know if you actually have access to that. I don't know if I have access to that. Okay, so now that we have a thing where we can log users in, what I want to do is I want to change this nav bar right here. So if I'm logged in, I shouldn't see the sign-in thing, right? I should see something else. So we've got that form group, and right now that form group doesn't even work. But if not user.is authenticated, then we want to show this stuff. Sure. But otherwise, let's just put ahref in here, which will be record. And right now it says record. All right, so that's not exactly what I want. What do I want here? Let's see. Let's do like nav class equals navbar right. And then we'll say that. Cool. So that's closer. I know for Bootstrap there is something about navbars. And that one right there says link. And okay, so we have a ul class equals navbar, or navbar nav, and then this would have an li. All right, and then there we go. That looks a little better, right? It doesn't look great, but it does look better. And yeah, if you click report, that's great. Thanks. If you don't, it's not that big of a deal. I doubt they'll be back to comment again. Okay, so there's that. We don't even have that form working. I don't know if we should have that form working. It seems like really what we should do is actually, yeah, here, let's just do this. So bring this up here. And then if they're not logged in, then we're going to show URL users login, or sign up. And otherwise, we're going to show this thing. And there's that one. And now if I come over here and I log out and I come back here and I refresh, now I've got login and I've got sign up. Cool, right? Great. Okay, login. Boom, I'm on my login page. Kenneth Love, test password. And no, I just don't ever bother me with that. And so then I get sent to this page that doesn't exist. And we get that. Okay, cool. So what I want to do is I want to look here at, is it here? That's not what I'm looking for. What am I looking for? I'm looking for, let's see, let's search for profile. There it is. Login redirect URL. So we're going to want to change this later. Actually, let's do check in. Let's check in. What is my diff for? Okay, I don't want settings. I just want that one. So menu reflects login status. And I forgot to push that, so I'll go ahead and push real quick. Yep, push. Okay, so this, what can I set on this? Accepts named URL patterns. Cool. So that is going to go to users : dashboard. which we don't have. So def dashboard request return render request users slash dashboard.html no context users new directory templates new directory users new file dashboard.html extends layout.html block title dashboard block.super in block content container h1 dashboard and block. Cool. Okay, so we need a URL for that. And let's say from .import views URL and dashboard views.dashboard name equals dashboard. All right. Now let's make sure that this works. I need to run the server. I'm logged out. Come over here. And I'm going to log in. And cool, it takes me to my dashboard page instead of to that page that doesn't exist. Okay. There's that. Super basic, right? But let's go ahead and check that in as well. I don't want to revert any changes. That button shouldn't be so close. That button's like way too close. Dashboard placeholder and setting and login redirect setting. Okay, cool. So we've got a thing now where we've allowed users to log in, but we don't have anything for logging out, and we don't have anything for signing up. So we've got 35 minutes. We can get both of those things done in 35 minutes. I'm pretty sure. We'll find out. We'll find out, right? Okay, so that's our login view. That's our log out view. Log out, then log in. So one of the things that there was a package that I used for a course, and I don't remember the name of the package, which is bad, but whatever. But they had a really nice feature where if you were going to log out, they took you to a page, and you had to hit a button to log out, right? It didn't just, you hit the request and it immediately logs you out. So, so I want to change that so that, like, that's the way I want to do that. Matthew Morse, what syntax did you not know? I'm happy to go back over stuff. All I'm going to be doing for right now is working on views. Okay. From Django.contrib.auth import logout. Def logout request logout view. Actually, I want to make this a form view. So from Django.views.generic import form view. So class logout view form class equals logout form valid self form. Hi Dynamics. Oh, you just finished Python Basics. Nice. Glad to have you here. It was in the user's dashboard file. User's dashboard. Is it the block super? Is that the thing that you didn't know? Yeah. So this is Django's template language. For the most part, it's very, very similar to HTML. But we get a few things like this. Anything you see with the double curly braces, the double mustaches, those are print statements, effectively. And anything you see with the percent mustache or mustache percent, those are similar to function calls. They're not function calls, but they're similar to function calls. Okay, so if the form is valid, then I want to do logout request. Okay. From Django.http import HTTP response redirect. Actually, that should be permanent redirect. No, just redirect. Okay. And from Django.core.url resolvers import reverse. There we go. Okay, cool. So, if the form is valid, then I want to call logout on self.request, and I want to return HTTP response redirect reverse home. So I'm going to send them back to home, right? Okay, so the problem is right now I don't have this form that I'm telling it to use. So from dot import forms, so we'll do that. And then we'll make a new file here inside of users named forms.py. And we'll say from Django import forms and class log out form forms.form. It's only going to have... Actually, wait, does it need anything? Yeah, it doesn't need anything. All right, that's it. So we just pass. That's the form. Wow, that's such a great form. Okay, so on our logout template, which we don't have, so we got to make one. New file logout.html. Yes, bring that in. And then here, I actually need to do template name equals user/logout.html. I have the hardest time typing logout. It's so weird. Logout should not be a hard thing to type, but I cannot type logout for the life of me. Extends layout.html. Block title is going to be logout. Block.super. And block. And if you're not familiar with what block.super is, block.super just says put in the existing content of this block because I need to go ahead and use whatever's there, right? So yeah, I've got things on there and I need to bring in some new stuff. I'm glad that you all enjoyed the corny jokes. Yeah, I can't help myself, so you're gonna get them no matter what. That's just the way it's just the way it's gonna be. And Dynamics, yeah, I also do a couple of courses on Flask. Flask is a lighter weight Python framework for doing web stuff. Yeah, it's pretty good. Div class equals container. Div. Do I need a div there? Yeah. Div class equals row. Div class equals call MD6. Log out. Form method equals post. Really good little trick. If you don't need to change where the form posts to, or does it get to, if you don't need to change the action, just leave it out. It automatically goes to the current page. Form.asp CSRF token input type equals submit, value equals log out, class equals btn default. Okay, and then we'd have another div class over here of call md6, where we do like sorry to see you go, or no, come back soon. This site works best if you use it often. Cool. Okay, and now URLs. Log out. Views.log out view as view. Name equals log out. Okay. And let's see if we currently have a log out view. I don't not. Server's not running. Users.form has no attribute form view. Uh-huh. Oh. Haha. I put the forms dot on the wrong line. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Now we can run the server. Okay. And if we go there, there is currently a log out, but that's my log out, so that should supersede the other one. So now if I go to log out, I get this page. Yeah, there's the log out. Okay. Let's change this template a little bit. You sure? Are you sure you want to leave? Cool. That's fine. So two things. Let's go change this view real quick. Let's add one more thing. From Django.contrib.auth.mixins, import login required mixin. And 15, let's go here, login required mixin, form view. So now if I'm not logged in, it won't let me go to this page. So if I open up a private window and I go there, it wants me to log in, right? So that's kind of cool. That's kind of nice. And secondly, we need to change the layout so that when you are logged in, there is a link to log out. URL users:log out. But that one shouldn't say record. That one should say log out. There we go. So if I go to log out, that's what I get. If I go home, cool, log out, cool. And now, let's make sure it works. If I log out, I should be here. Looks like I'm logged out. Users log out. I get told to log in. Cool. So we've got log out working. Let's do our version control, because I'm sure you all want to be able to have these files. Yeah. Yeah, include all of those. Log out, view, form, and template. Commit and push. All right, so we got about 25 minutes left to do our sign up. But first of all, let me check out docs here real quick. Docs. Chat. Matthew's still working on JavaScript. Don't worry, dude. You will get it. Yeah, and Dynamix, you know what? I'm right there with you. I don't understand all the hate that PHP gets. Yes, you can write really sloppy code in PHP, but you can write really sloppy code in literally every single programming language ever, even the ones that are strongly statically typed. I mean, I guarantee you someone out there has written absolutely horrible, ugly Erlang and Haskell code. Two languages that are supposed to be like, oh, you just write perfect, amazing code. Somebody's written horrible code in both of those. So what? It's fine. So yeah, just don't worry about it. Everybody can enjoy their own thing. Marine, Django does not use the Jinja 2 templating engine. Django uses its own templating engine on which Jinja 2 is based. So Jinja 2 came second. Django's templating engine is a little bit more restricted and restrained than Jinja 2. You can use Jinja 2 if you want to, though. You just have to change it inside your settings. I don't recommend doing it. I recommend using Django's templating engine, but that's just that. And Dynamix asks how come I'm the only teacher on here that streams. And Paz is actually completely right there. I'm kind of the one who started this idea. And nobody else has been in the right position to do it yet. Several of the other teachers want to do it, but they have other conflicts that are going on. They have other little bits and problems and things like that have been in the way. They just haven't been able to do it yet. But that said, I know there are several others that want to do it. Hopefully they get time to do it this year, sometime in 2017. I would love to have Craig and Alina and Andrew. I'd love to have a bunch of these people come and do it. I think they would all be really great at it. So yeah, here's hoping they do it. Send them, if you have a favorite Treehouse teacher that you want to see stream, send them an email. Or tweet at them, or post it on our Facebook, or send it to all of us on Twitter or whatever. The more people hear that you want somebody to post, the more, or sorry, not post. The more they hear you want somebody to stream, the more likely they are to find time to stream. Okay, so now let's look back over here at this. User auth. We're almost done with user auth. Excuse me. We only have one more thing that we need to do. And that, I think, is to create the sign up page. So let's get that going. Let's see if we can get the sign up stuff to work. Now, there is other user auth stuff that I would need to change or to add in. I need to add in like password change and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to mess with those right now. So I'm going to leave those alone. And if one of you would like to contribute those, you're more than welcome. Please do. But I want to do the user sign up. And so the thing is, there aren't, Django does not provide any user sign up views, which is great and fine, because how you want to control user sign up is often on your own. Or at least I say it doesn't. Maybe it does and I just don't remember them, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't. But we do have some forms that we can use. There's the authentication form and there is the user creation form. So we're going to use that one to do our view, at least for now. So up here from django.contrib.auth.forms, import user creation form. And then let's do another form view. That uses a model form. github.com/Django/Django. Haha. And yeah, Dynamix, Alina is the PHP teacher, and that is indeed how you spell her name. I think Alina would be amazing for doing live streams, so I really hope that she will be able to start doing them at some point. For forms. There's the form I was looking for. And I want to look at this user creation form, and that has a save. So that knows what to do. So we can do that as create view. So let's say we'll call this sign up view. This is not login required. This is actually the opposite of login required. But this will be a create view. The form class will be user creation form. And template name will be users/signup.html. All right, cool. Let's go add that to our URLs real quick. Not that URLs. Let's just close that. We don't need that. This URLs. And right here we'll say sign up and sign up view and sign up. Cool. And then we need our new template. And you know what? Let's just bring in most of this. So here we'll change this to say sign up. Sign up. Sign up. And that can be left alone as it is for now. Okay. So if I go to users/sign up. Cool. So we need to do some work on this. It's not amazing, but we need to do some work. And yeah, Marine, this is totally open for contributions from viewers. In fact, here's what we'll do. So this is an open source project, right? So for the next several weeks, we're going to be working on this. We're going to be building stuff on camera, on stream. You know, we're going to be building everything. But if I have pull requests or issues or anything like that that have come from all of you, from the viewers, then I will go through those before, like, that'll be the beginning of the stream, right? Is we'll go through pull requests, we'll merge things in, we'll do whatever it is that we need to do. So you are all more than welcome to contribute to this. So yeah. All right. So now here's the thing, though. This form does not look amazing, right? It looks kind of horrible. And part of that is because we're using Bootstrap, and so we get these, like, this help stuff is supposed to be, you know, in its own place. So what's cool is there are Django libraries that will let you add in Bootstrap stuff. And I'm not seeing them listed on it. Oh, that's because I misspelled Bootstrap. Haha. Let's spell Bootstrap correctly. There we go. Check out all that Bootstrap stuff there. So here's somebody who has one for admin. We don't need that. I think it's called Django Bootstrap. Yeah, there it is. Django Bootstrap 3. That's the one I want, right? Yep, that's it. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and add this into our project. And so we will install Django Bootstrap 3. Install that package. And then let's add this one to our settings. And we'll put it right here. And then we will start using it in our templates. So let's start off by using it in our sign up template. Because that's one that can definitely benefit from it. So we'll say load Bootstrap 3. Is that correct? Yeah, it is. Cool. And then instead of form as P, we'll do Bootstrap form. And now if we come over here and we look at our sign up form, Bootstrap. That's correct. Bootstrap is not one. It's Bootstrap. Did I do that one wrong? Is it a print? No. Load Bootstrap. Oh, we may need to restart the server. Sometimes when you load third-party libraries that have like template tags and stuff, you have to restart stuff. No. Is it Bootstrap 3 form? Bootstrap form. Oh man. Hopefully some of y'all saw that. Hey, cool. Check it out. So see, that looks much better, right? So let's go through and actually let's commit that. First though, let's make sure this works. So I'm going to make a test user with a test password and sign that user up. And then we didn't know where to redirect them to, which is true. I didn't specify that. So success URL should be users:/dashboard. And a user with that username already exists. They sure do. Let's pop over here to our ad. Let's go to our users and let's delete test user real quick. Yep, I'm sure. Cool. So now okay. Test user. Test password. Test password. All right, and then we need to import reverse lazy. Okay. I have a feeling it created the user. It did. Delete that user. Yes, I'm sure. All right. Go to there. Cool. We went to the dashboard. Okay. Okay. So we can sign up a user. Let's get that checked into version control. Sign up, view, template, etc. And I will commit and push that. And then there is a file that I am most definitely missing. And I'm going to go ahead and pop into terminal here. Which Python, it's that one, okay. And I'm going to do pip freeze requirements.txt. And then if I do a get status, all right, get add requirements.txt. And let's edit this get ignore. No, okay. Database. We're gonna add feelings/db.sqlite3. Get add.get ignore. Actually, let's not add that one. Get ci-m requirements. Get add.get ignore. Ignore database. Cool. Okay. So we've got everything done. I'm actually going to do another thing here. I'm going to do get tag week 1. Get push origin master tags. And that'll push that tag up. Okay, cool. So this is the part of the stream where we stop coding and we all start talking again, except I need to do a thing on here. That one's fine as is, but login needs the bootstrap thing. So while I'm doing that, you all come up with questions for me, and I will answer them as best I can in the next couple of minutes. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Okay. And I remembered one other thing that we don't have, which is the sign up link doesn't work. Okay, now that works. And now for the fun of get tag, get delete tag. I've already pushed the tag, so now this is really annoying. Get tag -d week 1 get push origin :refs /tags /week 1. Okay, now get tag week 1 get push origin tags. Cool. So now that should be good. And I'm going to say user auth is done, actually. So it looks like for week 2, we're going to be working on the companies, the families, generating this aggregate stuff, generating a bunch of data. So, so cool. So we've got a decent amount of stuff done on there. And yeah, I feel like we're in good shape. So we got about 10 minutes left. Let me know what questions you all have. It can be about the project. It can be about Python, Django, Treehouse, me, literally anything. But let's see what questions you all have. How's things? Anybody have any good plans for the weekend coming up? Anything fun going on for the middle of January? Not a whole lot happens during the middle of January, I guess. But, yeah, what's up, everybody? How's things? I know Marine has been working on a fun project. He's been working on a thing for scraping forum questions. I know that because I assigned it to him. Well, I asked him if he'd do it. Not assigned it. I asked him if he'd do it. I think it's going to be really awesome. And I know several people at Treehouse are excited that it's going to be done. So can't wait to see that. Could I explain what a slug is in Django? I certainly can. Okay, so in Django, you often see a thing... Sorry, had a weird bit of schmutz in my keyboard. Django slug. So in Django, you'll see a lot of stuff known as slugs. You'll hear people talk about slug fields or slug URLs or something like that. So, excuse me. So a slug is kind of a holdover from Django's days of being in a newspaper. Django started off at the Lawrence Journal World, which is a newspaper in Lawrence, Kansas, and newspaper stories often have what's known as a slug, or a quick way to refer to them, right? So you find out that, Senator Hoskins had some sort of scandal, so you might call the story like Hoskins scandal, like we're going to talk about the Hoskins scandal this week, right? Or I need you to write an editorial on the Hoskins scandal or whatever. So that's the idea of a slug, right? This short little name where you can refer to this thing without talking about the entire, hey, I need you to write an editorial about, the embezzling thing that Senator Hoskins from Indiana got caught doing, right? Like, you don't want to talk about that whole thing. You want to say just the short little bit. So that's a slug. So that carried over to the website that they built for the Lawrence Journal World, where you would have whatever the title was, and you would condense it, or you would strip out the spaces and replace them with like hyphens or underscores or something. You'd make it so that it could be displayed in a URL. And that became the slug. So there's a short little way to refer to it that doesn't relate to the primary key or the ID. Because you don't always want to expose what your primary keys are or your IDs are in your URLs. It isn't necessarily the most unsafe thing ever, but it opens up a new attack vector. People can see how things are being stored in your database. And ideally, you don't want to show that off. So you use the slug in the URL to refer to a particular story or item or whatever. Slugs in Django are becoming less and less useful, simply because we're getting to the point where fewer and fewer things are a story. So now slugs are becoming more of a, this is for when you build your blog, or this is for when you build, your social network thing and people can post articles or something on it. That's kind of where that comes in. But yeah, so that's what slugs are. Let's see. Paz says that this weekend they're doing some work on their home network and hopefully setting up a new server on DigitalOcean. That's fun. I love DigitalOcean. They do some really great servers for an amazing price. So good luck on that. That's great. Marlos, will the project be published? The project is public. I mean, it's on GitHub right now. We've been pushing to it through the entire episode. I don't know when the entire thing will be done. My plan is that we will have this live on the internet. You will all be able to go and use this thing for reals somewhere if you want. Whether or not that plan comes to fruition, I don't know because I can't see the future, but that's my plan. So we'll find out. And Sergey, as Marine answer to you, yes, this will indeed be saved on YouTube. I don't know when it'll be published. I'm not in charge of that, but it will end up on YouTube, and it should be in the LiveCoding playlist soon. So within a day or two. Yeah. The best way to find out about these is to subscribe to the Go Treehouse. I almost said Go Django. The Go Treehouse channel. And this is going to be weird because it's going to start playing and you're going to be able to hear it. But I got to show you the thing. So, right here, it has the subscribe, unsubscribe thing. There's this little bell icon. So long as you click that bell, then you will get, an alert, on your phone or an email or whatever, whenever I go live. Or anyone else goes live. So that's kind of the best way to, make sure that you know when this stuff is happening. And Salvo, I'm sorry, I don't speak, I'm guessing that's Italian. I don't speak Italian, so I can't answer that question. Can you Google Translate and repost it in English? That'd be really helpful. Thanks. Or, of course, I can do that. I don't know why I'm being lazy and having you do it, because I can do it just as easily as you can. So let's just do that. Yes, we are talking about programming. We're almost done with talking about programming, because it's noon, but we are talking about programming. All right, so I'll give everybody another minute or two to get your final questions in, and then we will end this week's episode. And surprise for those of you who have been here on other weeks, I finally found out that as soon as I hit stop streaming, it just cuts everything off. So I'm not going to do that right away. I'm going to put up a little, see you later sign, and then cut it off, so that y'all can hear everything I say. Because normally, it would just cut off, and you'd be like, where did it go? So we're not doing that anymore. All right. So anyway, come back next week. Next week, we will try to get the rest of this basic Django site up and running. Hopefully, we'll have everything kind of working the way we want it to work. We'll have all the basic functionality, because once we move on to building the API and the React version and the Android app and the Windows, the whatever else we build as we go on through this. Ideally, we don't want to change any functionality, right? We don't want to add or remove anything from the app. We just want to add on these other little bits and pieces that make it work in new and exciting ways. So that's our plan. That's my plan. I hope to see you all here next week. If you want to learn how to program, check out Treehouse. It's teamtreehouse.com. For $25 a month, you can take a just huge number of courses that will teach you any programming language you want to know that we teach. But you can learn how to build iOS and Android apps. You can learn how to build software in Java or JavaScript or Ruby or Python or PHP or .NET, like C#. And we're even doing some gaming stuff, so if you want to learn how to make video games using Unity or VR games, I think also using Unity, we've got you covered there too. So check out Treehouse, give it a try, and yeah, I hope to see you all next week. So I'm going to disappear, but the stream's going to stay up just for a minute. Okay, let's make sure this works.